and welcome to this edition of Shelby This Week. 2019 has been a very busy and exciting year for everyone in Shelby Township. We have been very fortunate to meet amazing people and provide great stories to you at home. With hundreds of stories to choose from here at Shelby TV, we picked some of our favorites we were able to report on throughout the year. Enjoy! Her love for the Burgess Shadbush Nature Center all began many years ago, and from being a volunteer to a now employee, her passion for the animals and the history behind the facility has grown. Kyle Warzabach introduces us to Faith.
16 years ago, Faith Rembez was just a mother of 5 and a nurse living in Shelby Township. But her life would change the day she met Joanne Burgess at the Nature Center.
Well, I met Joe Burgess in, I would say, the end of 2003, and I met her because I had started bringing my younger 2 kids for nature tales here, which ironically I'm in charge of now. And I would bring up things like, oh, we could do this craft this way. You're really creative. You should volunteer here. So she got me to start volunteering. And at the time she had handed me a list. She said, well, we're going to be opening this Pioneer cabin and we need these things. Maybe you could help us with that. And I had just started quilting and I said, well, I'll make you a quilt for the cabin. So I made the quilt in 2004 and the cabin was opened in 2005.
And the volunteer work Faith loved doing eventually turned into the job she holds today.
Good afternoon, Burgess Shadbush Nature Center. Faith speaking. Can I help you? Joe had talked to Jim and she said, you know, employees are leaving. She goes, you really should hire Faith. She goes, I think she would be an asset. And so Jim came to me and he said, you know, at an event I was volunteering at, and he goes, we'd like to hire you.
Faith was hired to be an animal caretaker, which at the time was a new learning experience for her.
It was all through self-education, to be quite honest. And she was the mentor. The naturalists throughout the years that have been here have also been big influences.
Faith is also well known for the characters she plays at events like the Haunted Nature Center and Nature Tales.
And I'd like to welcome you to my traveling witchcraft and wizardry emporium.
I just think it's always been kind of fun to change your voice, and you know, when I read, I usually read with different voices. So when I'm reading to kids, if it's got multiple characters, I'll do a different voice for a different character. I just think it makes it more fun.
It's safe to say that Jo Burgess had a lasting impact on Faith and her family because of her love for nature and education. Be
it children or adults, she loved sharing her passion with people. And, you know, it just blossomed into this wonderful setting we have today. And I'm proud to be a part of it. And she was a great friend.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Kyle Warzabach.
For a number of years, this Shelby Township man has been an active member on the local Special Olympics team. His love of the sport shows on the basketball court.
I've been involved in Special Olympics almost all my life.
Since the start of this program in 1995, Scott has been an asset to the Special Olympics team here in Shelby Township. This program is not only an important part of his life, but everyone involved.
Special Olympics is a good program. It gets special needs kids out there to play sports.
Scott is truly a team player on and off the court, and is a large contributor to various aspects of Shelby Township.
He gives so much back to the community. Not too long ago he started helping Mike Ward out with his races, and those races that Mike Ward puts on directly are funds that are raised for the Special Olympics. So I think it's wonderful for an athlete, a Special Olympic member of our Special Ed group, what he does and gives back, and he gives 110% when he's helping Mike Ward at these races. So and that's something we do push for our athletes, to get out in the community and help out as well. So and they're doing that, and Scott is just the if you could say picture perfect Special Olympic athlete, just wonderful young man, gives back to the community and really excels at all the activities that he does play in. So and he's a joy to be around.
And we can assure you Scott will continue to bring joy and life to this team. He has no plans to give up the sport anytime soon.
Just keep playing until long as I can play.
No Resolve has been around since 2007, but this year they will open their first ever building right here in Shelby Township. With an actual place to call home, the nonprofit is looking forward to reaching out and impacting teens in Macomb County.
I started No Resolve in 2007 because I wanted to raise awareness about suicide. I lost my father to suicide when I was a teenager and struggled with that for many years, and we just had a real hard time talking about it in our own family, and I noticed that people weren't very open to talking about it in general. There's just this sense of stigma and shame surrounding it, and I wanted to make a difference.
To make a difference, Dennis Ligio began going into schools throughout the local area. While there, he would share personal stories on how suicide has impacted his life. Through his connections, he knew he wanted to do something for the youth.
No Resolve's primary mission is mental health awareness and youth suicide prevention. So some of the strongest protective factors against suicide and for people that are dealing with mental health issues are a sense of connection and community, and we hope to provide both of those things through this space.
This space will be The Shed, designed for teens by teens.
This is going to be an after-school activity center for teens called The Shed, and we're going to have a strong focus on the arts. This is a youth-driven space, so we have an advisory council of about 15 high school students, and they are going to determine what happens here and how it looks, along with our guidance and leadership.
High school students from all over the area offer insight into what teens want to see in the space. The students might be around the same age, but they bring different experiences to the group.
I've been affected by a youth suicide, my cousin, so it just makes me feel better knowing that there's a way for me to be able to help other teens in that same situation.
With this group, it's like a safe place. And I use that word a lot because that's what it is. It's like a family. Like, you come in here, you can talk about your issues, you can make an appointment with the counselors at your school, and they can really help you. Versus, you ever feel like ashamed to talk about your issues that you're struggling with, but you shouldn't feel that way.
Creating this all-inclusive, safe environment will allow these teens to forget what they are struggling with and let go of the pressures of society. And already these teens involved have learned a thing or two about life.
Things don't have to be perfect for things to be happy, I guess. If everything was perfect, it would be boring, probably. So having little flaws here or quirkiness or things really make everyone unique, and it makes the world a better place, I think.
Along with these students, a strong group of adults feel this message, and the Shed will allow for an escape for high school students.
He has a saying of break the secret to save a life, and the secret is to be able to talk about not only suicide ideations, but mental health issues or anything that you're doing that's negative.
Extremely important that these kids today know that there are people that want to help them, and there are people that will listen, and that there is going to be a place for them to come to feel safe.
The Shed is scheduled to open in September. For more information, you can visit noresolve.org. A cancer diagnosis for their young son is not stopping this family from helping other children fighting the disease. Kyle Warzbach has more.
He's the most resilient, strongest, happiest little boy you'll ever meet in your life.
This is Drew, the 3-year-old son of Andrew and Melissa Akash. At 9 months old, he was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor, and since then, he's gone through multiple tests, chemo, and a clinical trial.
So he's been on a clinical trial now for going on 6 months. Our next scan is next month in Chicago, and we're hopeful that this is going to be the answer to our prayers.
It's unreal. It's earth-shattering. You just don't know what to think, and the only thing that you have to do is just try to fix the problem. Try to figure out what you can do to get past it, and that's all really it is. There's no explanation of what that feeling is. It's the worst thing that could ever happen.
Through all of this, the Akash family started the Super Drew Foundation and hosted the first annual Super Drew Family Extravaganza to help other families facing similar challenges.
So the Super Drew Foundation was started because we were very fortunate throughout our treatment to be able to have a lot of love and support from those around us, and we also were able to financially support the endeavors and things that we wanted to do for our child. But we know that there's a lot of families out there that can't do that. And we want to provide families with services and experiences that they wouldn't be able to afford or spend their money on. So our goal would be to give these families a housekeeping service, somebody to come cut their grass, to make them feel normal, because every family in an abnormal situation deserves to feel normal.
And the driving force behind this initiative is Melissa's mother, who passed away from brain cancer last year.
And honestly, a lot of her strength and her willing to give to others is what really drove me to doing this, because I know that my mom would be doing something exactly like this, and I'm happy to give back to others.
To learn more about the Super Drew Foundation, search Team Super Drew on Facebook. For Shelby This Week, I'm Kyle Warzebach.
A lemonade stand is working with the MISD Homeless Education Project in Macomb County. The money raised will give hygiene products, school supplies, and clothing to help students in need succeed in school. Samana Sheikh has more.
Give a little, spend a little, and save a little is the motto for National Lemonade Day. Isn't that right, Michael?
Yeah.
These two kids right here are giving all of their money to a local charity. Emily makes lemonade with her third-grade brother, Michael, the first Saturday in June. She sells it to her community in front of her home. She started in kindergarten.
Last year, we raised $10,935.85.
Each cent goes to homeless students in Macomb County, targeting school supplies. 1,410 homeless students are enrolled in Macomb County schools this year. Emily and Michael want to fix it.
I want everyone to feel as fortunate as I am, so we all do good in school. I know that like when I go to school, I have to have my highlighters, my pencils, so that I'm ready to go for class, and when kids don't have that, it just kind of takes away from the whole learning experience.
County commissioners awarded Emily and Michael's Happy Day Lemonade stand. The goal is to change the world for other kids, one cup of lemonade at a time. Michael and Emily are going to continue their lemonade stand each year. Isn't that right, guys?
Yes.
All right, let's do a hurrah to that. 1, 2, 3. Hurrah! Woo! In Macomb County, Samana Sheikh reporting.
This new dance studio in Shelby Township is encouraging children with special needs to dance without limits. Brennan Noyes brings us to this inclusive studio.
Inside Underground Dance Company, you will find a unique program called Dancing Without Limits.
Dancing Without Limits is a program for disability children of all ranges.
One of the challenges of having a special needs daughter is making them feel as normal as possible, and this Dancing Without Limits has made that possible. So she comes in every Saturday and just kind of feels like a normal child, and that's just something that's priceless to me and her mother, and I'm sure a lot of the other parents.
For the past 3 years, Dancing Without Limits has been invited to compete at Tribute National Talent Competition. This year, they not only received a standing ovation, but was also honored with the Touching Hearts Award.
We get to take these kids to a competition, and they absolutely shine on stage.
I like to dance with all my friends here. I like the music. I like to move around.
If Shelby Township knew of what a great experience it is to come in and to work with these kids and to be here with them and see the excitement on their faces that they get to do something like this, I think would be great for the community to get more involved. I just want to say thank you for the parents. They've really made this a great experience for everybody here at the studio, and to both my Miss Sams for helping out. It's been an amazing experience for everybody.
For more information on Dancing Without Limits, call 586-416-4700. For Shelby This Week, I'm Brennan Noyes.
You can call it the new ice bath. From athletes to celebrities, cryotherapy has taken over for muscle healing and pain relief. Many people love the benefits this new therapy provides.
-300 degrees, and it's a 3-minute session.
Negative 300 degrees for 3 minutes? Wow, that sounds intense.
It's not that bad.
Accelerated Air Recovery, located on the northwest corner of Hall Road and Shaner, is the first cryotherapy provider in Shelby Township.
At negative 300 degree, your head is sticking out of the chamber, but from the neck down, your body is subjected to the negative 300 degree cold air.
Negative 300, yep.
Cryotherapy is the science of exposing the body to sub-zero temperatures by using nitrogen in order to stimulate physical and mental health benefits. The idea comes from the practice of applying ice or any other type of cold treatment to provide pain relief for inflamed, injured, or overused muscles.
It's a great addition to working out. It's similar to working out in terms of your muscles that are going to get worked, and you're going to burn calories, but you're not going to expend your muscles, and you're not going to tire and things like that.
But cryotherapy can be used for so much more.
Your body's able to achieve many beneficial results, reduction in inflammation, injury recovery, muscle recovery, calorie burn, which is something that everyone's always interested in having.
Stephen uses his cryotherapy to help recover in between his intense workouts and has had many beneficial results.
A little cold, but refreshed, and you can feel it in your bones and deep into your body. You can feel all the blood pumping. Your body goes into a sense of, I need to pump blood everywhere, and it feels really good.
If the cold is not for you, there are other unique services at Accelerated Innovative Recovery.
We also have an infrared sauna, so the cryo sauna is cold, the infrared sauna is hot. The cryotherapy is really helpful in reducing inflammation and pain and things like that. The infrared sauna, I don't think is good at that, but it's more along the lines of preventative in terms of illness and things like that.
It's just like you're kind of like bopping, like.
Our anti-gravity treadmill is the most amazing treadmill to run on. If you've never experienced going on it, you definitely need to try it.
The machine uses unweighting technology to remove pressure from your body and make it feel as though you are running on air.
Like I'm skipping, that's what it's like. Yeah.
The unique services offered at Accelerated Innovative Recovery follow holistic practices used across the world. To put your pain problems on ice, visit airrecov.com. For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.
This four-legged friend is now living her best life thanks to this caring family. Here's Stacy Sansatera with more.
Pinkie was nervous and unsure when she first met her new family. And now, 1 year later, Pinkie has settled in with her pack.
And I love you the most.
Pinkie is one of 23 dogs taken from a home in Shelby Township after an anonymous call to the Macomb County Animal Control. The golden doodles and miniature poodles seized from the property were found emaciated and matted while living in horrible conditions.
Pinkie, come here.
You see me?
And as word spread about the seizure of these designer dogs, Sandra was thinking about adoption.
Well, my current dog, Tess, had gone deaf. And she'd always wanted to have a playmate, but when she went deaf, I thought, well, it would be nice if she had another set of ears.
And just like that, Tess and Sandra picked Pinkie to become the newest member of their family.
No knowledge of life outside of a cage. So she was very thin, very emaciated, and due to being in a cage, her muscles had atrophied. She didn't actually develop the proper muscles in her hindquarters. So she'd never been up and down steps. She'd never seen grass. She didn't know anything. Scared to death.
A scared to death Pinkie meant lots of work for Sandra as she taught Pinkie to quite simply just be a dog.
It's been fascinating to watch her learn how to run. As she's developed muscle, she has become just flies out the gate, jumps the 3 steps, comes out in this yard and just makes circles around the yard. She's so happy.
Pinkie has come so far in 1 year. The unconditional love shared with her family has opened up a whole new world for a dog that lived her former life in a small cage.
I don't think there's a day goes by that we don't look into her eyes, and the love that pours out of these big brown eyes is just unbelievable. And it just warms your heart, because you can't imagine not really being able to fully stand up even in her cage, not knowing what human contact is or nature. One of the first things that I marveled at was her fascination with everything. I mean, she actually watches TV, and when she came outside, it was this time of year where I've had her just 1 year this month, and the cottonwood was coming down out of the trees, and she would just chase the little fuzzy things around, and it was pretty great. But to imagine her in a cage, she's not been in a cage since.
And Pinkie will never again find herself in a cold cage, lacking the human contact she so desperately craves. I would dare to say that with this family, Pinkie has struck gold.
She's going to be with me forever.
Group lovin's. Group lovin's.
For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.
28 children ages 10 through 12 from Shelby Township were given a unique experience. Stacy Sansatera has more.
The idea of bringing all these kids together in the same place is so that we can introduce them to what we do as law enforcement officers and kind of give them an idea of what it takes to be an officer.
Through a team effort by the Shelby Township Police Department's Community Services Unit, the first ever Youth Law Enforcement Academy was a huge success.
1, 2, 3, squad!
So we've introduced them to crime scene analysis, we've introduced them to witness identification and interviewing techniques and photo lineups and all of the different aspects of our job.
Come on guys, cheer for them, come on, cheer for your team, where's the energy?
Hello. My name is Officer Michael, and do you know why I stopped you today?
I do not.
His license is showing currently suspended.
Okay, so he's suspended, so he shouldn't be driving, right? You're gonna have to arrest him.
The Academy focuses on teamwork, leadership, and communication skills. In addition, the students work towards solving a mock crime during the course.
And we've also introduced them, with the help of ShelbyTV, to a crime, a mock bank robbery that we staged. And we are then having them investigate that crime from beginning to end, telling us who they think the suspect is, how they came to that conclusion, and really presenting a mock case to a mock court.
He was the one who robbed the bank, and that's why we have him in court today.
We went out a couple days ago and we found footprints and we lifted fingerprints off a bottle. We swabbed for DNA.
It's hard, but it's rewarding when you find something out. Like me and my group, we messed up. We were the last to swab and get fingerprints, so we don't have that much stuff.
It's a lot of work, but once you figure out who did it, it's all worth it.
And as the students presented their cases, it left our officers impressed with their detective skills.
These kids are so smart. In fact, they've caught us in a couple of things that we didn't expect. Because this is our first academy, we were kind of tailoring it to what we thought kids of this age group would know or their thought processes. And a couple of times they've caught us where we went, oh, with their very adult thinking and very logical progression of thought. And it's really kept us on our toes and made it a lot of fun.
There's forward, march.
28 students entered the academy as individuals and completed the 10-day course as a team, embracing every minute of this unique Law Enforcement 101.
I hope to become a police officer because it'd be a lot of fun.
A fantastic team effort by the Shelby Township Police Department's Community Services Unit. For Shelby This Week, I'm Stacy Sansatera.
Thank you for joining us and continuing to watch and support our programming. We can't wait to see what stories lie ahead in 2020. Thanks for watching.